What makes a villain so iconic? Is it the way they look? Is it the catchphrase? Is it that one movie that sets them apart from other horror villains? Hi, welcome back to the channel. And yeah, I just want to give you guys my Mount Rushmore of horror villains. Why? Because I feel like the horror genre has a huge fan base, a big following here on YouTube, and I just wanted to express my gratitude, my love for that genre specifically. Let's kick this off with number 4 with Michael Myers. Yeah, he is the quintessential boogeyman. He is known as the Shape. He is this entity we can't get enough of. Spawned several sequels, 7, 8, 9, 10, something like that, and we just can't get enough of Michael Myers. It's not so much about the kills, it's about this figure, this man himself, and what he's all about. Each film doesn't really dive into Michael's origins, it's focused on his drive, this evil force, and wanting to kill and stop at nothing to get to Laurie Strode or whomever stands in his way. And I just love that, the way he walks. The reason why these movies, this horror icon has is still relevant to this day is because he keeps it simple. A guy with a butcher knife, plain and simple, right there, wearing a mask. He's not coming out from, the depths of hell. No, this is a human being of some sort. And that's all. Sometimes that's all we need. Sometimes that's all we're in the mood for. So that is my number 4, guys, Michael Myers. Coming in at number 3 is Mr. Nightmare on Elm Street himself. Robert Englund will be forever known as Fred Krueger. What Wes Craven was able to cook up in that first film was monumental now that you look back on it. But as time went on, I think the sequels really stuck with fans rather than that first film. Don't get me wrong, the first film is iconic. It is a near a sheer perfect horror film. But yeah, the sequels really pushed the envelope in terms of what Freddy Krueger is all about. The movies turned him sort of into this charismatic killing machine in your dreams. That's another reason why Freddy Krueger is, an icon, is because he only exists in your nightmares. And that's how he traps you. Therefore, you're just this victim in your own reality, in your nightmares. This is another, main attraction in the horror genre. He's just not some guy walking around. He is the total package. Scary as hell. Now, if you don't know the backstory of this guy, a filthy child murderer, and his revenge is going after people in their nightmares. What feeds into that idea is these kids, the fear itself, the fear within these teenagers in these movies. And that really is the formula there. That's the key that really sets the franchise, Nightmare on Elm Street franchise, apart. I could do a whole video, several videos on Freddy Krueger, Robert Englund. From a fan perspective, this is me giving him his flowers. This character he's been known for so long. I think a lot of fans are dying to see another film in the works. Someone please make this happen. My number 2, Jason Voorhees is this entity, a guy walking around with a hockey mask, a machete, but there's a lot more to him. There's a whole backstory, and we get that in Friday the 13th Part 1. He's a kid at camp. Camp counselors weren't watching him. He's swimming, he drowns. It's a lot of world building when you think about it, and it makes it even more compelling. Even before this character himself, Jason Voorhees, is on camera. He doesn't show up until part 2, if you didn't know. And in part 1, his mom, Pamela Voorhees, took her anger out on whoever stepped into this camp. It adds more suspense, more drama. Some more information is fed to us about how Jason saw his mother getting beheaded. So there was a lot of, chatter with that, and that adds more, fear into what if that's true? What if that actually occurred? This franchise spawned 9, 10 sequels, and it's brilliant. It's brilliant. We again, he's one of these iconic villains. Jason Voorhees, we can't get enough of him. He is a standout. He is on my Mount Rushmore because of his kills. He will get you. He will stop at nothing. My personal favorites out of the franchise are Friday the 13th Part 2. That's when we really get a good look at him. He's on screen for the first time. Although he hasn't donned the mask yet. He has a potato sack over his head. I think that's chilling. Part 3 is also a favorite of mine, where he finds the hockey mask for the first time and wreaks havoc on camp counselors at Camp Crystal Lake. It's all in good fun. Friday the 13th blew up. T-shirts, video games, and in fact there is a TV show in the works. I really hope that happens, because people are itching for something from the franchise. Jason Voorhees, the killer himself from Friday the 13th, is my number 2. My number 1 is Charles Lee Ray, aka Chucky. The idea of a killer doll really came into view in the late 80s, early 90s in the horror genre, and it just took us by storm. There's something about a doll that leaves us, vulnerable, or it's supposed to be a loving, emotional attachment. But in the case of Child's Play, the movie, you have a serial killer who's about to be caught and ends up getting shot and dying, and he performs this seance and transfers his soul into a doll, and the rest is history. The first Child's Play it's a murder mystery, so grounded, so kept secret, and the way it's pulled off, it's brilliant. It's terrifying. This is another franchise that spawned several sequels, a lot of sequels, and each one gets more crazy than the next. This franchise follows the same formula, making Chucky this, standout, hilarious figure that's out to kill people. I prefer the doll to be a killing machine and not this, joke. In all fairness, the fans crave it, love it. He'll forever be known as, Chucky the good guy doll. I think that's really terrifying if you think about it. A Child's Play thing coming to life. If you go back to Child's Play Part 1, you have this kid named Andy who wants this doll. Eventually his mom gives it to him, and it's the exact same doll that the serial killer Charles Lee Ray in the movie, played by Brad Dourif, his soul is in this exact doll. And that sets off a chain of events. It just makes for a terrifying camp tale. Guys, that is my Mount Rushmore. Michael Myers, Jason Voorhees, Freddy Krueger, and Chucky himself. Guys, I want to know your Mount Rushmore. I'm sure it's different. Let's hear those horror villains. Look forward to more content very soon, guys. Take care. Folks, if you like this video, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. It really helps out in the long run. Dark Room Reviews, it's the place you should be subscribed to. Join the channel. It's free.